So why did the Well, first of all, get involved with Faithful Friends mentoring?
The Well first decided to get involved with Faithful Friends mentoring, I think through a number of connections and reasons. First, we do have staff from Faithful Friends who are part of our congregation, who we love and respect. And so knowing them kind of gave us a relational connection. Yeah, and then I think secondly, because of where we are in the city, being in the center of the city, we have people coming from all over, and we really wanted to find practical, sort of simple, in the sense of not super complicated, ways for people who are coming from all over to serve all over the city. And I'd say those were kind of the main things that really pushed us to getting involved.
What was the process like to partner with Faithful Friends for the Well Church?
Yeah, the process for the Well to partner with Faithful Friends, I think, started relationally. So it was us talking to Chan, I think, initially, as we had a few people who expressed interest in wanting to volunteer, wanting to be mentors. Then it was kind of talking to Chan, talking to you, Curtis, talking to others to say, okay, if we want to do this, what does it look like? And kind of through the relational connections and just asking questions more, and then kind of sharing it with the church, more and more people were interested. And so as more and more people became interested, it became more and more natural for us to be kind of in a formal partnership with more and more people being involved.
And your role with this partnership as pastor at the Well, what does that look like as part of the partnership?
Yeah, my role in the partnership with Faithful Friends, I think, has been to bring awareness. So providing opportunity for, like, to do interviews with Faithful Friends staff in our Sunday church service, to pray for Faithful Friends publicly, to talk about it, to help provide an opportunity for announcements. So I think that's been one of my primary roles, is just bringing awareness. I'd say secondly, just encouraging people, because we do have lots of people who are serving as mentors, and just encouraging them in that process, wherever they are in the process, to continue to do it, to fill out the application, to do the trainings, all the different parts of that process. I think I've just been kind of as an encourager to do it. And then thirdly, to be an example, because we too have mentored with Faithful Friends. And so it's been great for us to be able to say, hey, this isn't something like this just theoretical, that we're just thinking everyone else should do it. We've benefited by it, our family, in the process. And so I think we've also been able to kind of advocate for Faithful Friends because we have participated with Faithful Friends.
And how has partnering with Faithful Friends in ministry impacted your church as a whole from your vantage point?
Yeah, partnering with Faithful Friends as a ministry has impacted our church, I think, in a couple ways. Firstly, for sure, in just providing a simple opportunity to serve the city in a way that is pretty uncomplicated and very accessible for everyone. And so there's no one in our congregation, mostly no one, who wouldn't be able to serve in this way. And so for us, it's just provided that opportunity to serve in a very practical way. So it's been a blessing to our congregation. I'd say secondly, it just kind of gives a camaraderie among the different people who are mentoring. So we'll always talk one to another. Hey, how's your student doing? Hey, how's your mentee doing? Learn from each other, share stories together. So it develops this really, I think, healthy, beautiful camaraderie among the different families or individuals in our church who are mentoring. And so that has really blessed our congregation.
Can you share with us maybe a personal story about your experience with Faithful Friends as a mentor?
Yeah, a story from our personal experience with Faithful Friends as mentors has been just the trust, I think, that we've seen developed from the first time we met our mentee until now. And so we have known her for a year. And it's me, my wife, and our youngest daughter. We kind of all together get to be mentors. And so, yeah, from the first time we met her, and understandably so, she was really welcoming and engaging, but also a little bit, doesn't know us very well. And so I wouldn't say she didn't trust us, but definitely there was a little bit of unease. Naturally and understandably, I'd be the same way. But to see where she is now, a year later, where she pops in our car and begins to kind of share about her week and talk, and what about this, and did you hear about this, and can you believe this? And so there's a really natural sort of community and trust that she's developed with us that has happened over that year. So for us, it brings us a lot of joy. So we're able to go to parks. She has meals with our family. We do kind of artistic, creative type things, and she's down for all of it. She's whatever we want to do. She's mostly good to go because I think she trusts us. So that's been really fun to see.
Any advice you'd give to a church that's considering partnering in ministry with Faithful Friends? Any kind of fears they may have, or concerns, or just general excitement? What would you say to those churches in their leadership right now?
Yeah, advice that I would have for other churches considering joining with Faithful Friends would be absolutely do it. I think would be the first thing I say. For me, it would be how could you not? I mean, here are faithful Christians in Portland who have established a ministry that is known and trusted and is an easy on-ramp into loving and serving Portlanders. Like, why would you not be involved in that? So I think the second thing I would say is trust Faithful Friends. So in the process of placing mentors with mentees, and the kind of the detailed and diligent process that Faithful Friends uses to partner people together, the mentees with the mentors, trust Faithful Friends in that process. I think sometimes as pastors or churches, we can think, oh, we want to do it our way, or we know the best way to do it, or even we want to kind of get in and there can be too many cooks in the kitchen. And so what I would suggest is just trust Faithful Friends to do their job and just come alongside, and as they place people with mentors and mentees, to just enjoy that process and to enter into that process, but allowing Faithful Friends to kind of drive the boat on that. And thirdly, I would say provide opportunities for the church to hear about it more, for mentors to share about it more, because I think as people hear about their friends or fellow congregation members doing it, then it's more natural for them to do it. And I've heard that again and again from other people in our congregation. Like, the reason I'm doing it is because I heard of such and such who was doing it, or I saw, an interview, or Rob and Sarah on the Faithful Friends video, and so it encourages people I know and love and trust are doing it, so it just makes a lot of sense for us to do it. So providing opportunities for Faithful Friends to be talked about as the congregation gathers would be another thing I think is really helpful in our situation and would be helpful for other churches as well.
So CJ, you're a pastor here in Portland. Our church is considering trying to get involved in the community, and we're not quite sure what steps to take. What have you done as a congregation that has really made you feel like you have become embedded into the lives of your community?
Yeah. To my fellow pastors, I would say Faithful Friends is one of the primary ways in this great city of ours that we can serve this city. A lot has been written, a lot has been said, a lot has been argued about how to serve the city, particularly those among us who are the most vulnerable in our city. I would encourage my fellow pastors, let's not argue about it or talk about it or write about it, but let's do it. And there is one very simple, trusted, faithful way that we can serve this city as a congregation, and that's through mentoring with faithful friends. Faithful Friends does all the hard work in terms of finding the families to serve, training the mentors to serve well. It's our call and our responsibility to respond and to allow our congregation to be aware of this ministry and to encourage our congregations to serve in this ministry. Again, not just talking about it, not just writing about it, not just arguing about it, but to be faithful to do it here in this city with faithful brothers and sisters who are doing it. That would be my encouragement to Portland pastors. Yeah, I would say for those pastors or churches considering Faithful Friends, but want to know more on how it works with the church. How does it work with the congregation? How does it work partnering with an organization? I'd be happy to be a resource, to answer questions, to speak from my own experience, to speak from our congregation's experience. I believe it. Like we said earlier, we've experienced not only as a congregation, but we've experienced that as a family. Just how effective it is and how meaningful it is, not only for the mentee and the family, but for the mentors and those who are involved in serving. So I'd be happy to serve as a resource to answer questions or to give recommendations.